Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I've always wondered about this. I got to believe that you probably have wondered too, when you're going to book a flight. What's the way to save the best money on airline tickets? We're going to crack the code. I have a feeling we're going to crack the code today. He is an amazing travel specialist with Cadillac Travel, helps people all around the world book their vacations. And I'm going to say it here that travel experts are back. It was a thing back in the day. Then everybody went online. You don't get the personalized service. You don't get the help. You don't get what you're getting here today unless you deal with somebody in person like this guy, David Fishman, back on the program. Welcome back. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice I'm good. Yeah, well, you are definitely back from an amazing cruise, 9 countries.
8 or 9 countries in 12 days, cruising through the Baltics. Beautiful part of the world. Absolutely fantastic.
Wow.
Loved every minute of it.
Great weather?
Perfect. That was amazing. Even every country we went to, they went, we realize it's usually a little cooler and rainy here this time of year. I'm like, I brought the weather. I planned it. That's my job. I planned the weather as well. And just extraordinary. And I love going to Europe in the fall. I think it's the best time to go, September, October, even early November. Because when you're touring, I'm not going to a beach. I want a tour that's comfortable. The temperatures are comfortable, warm 70s during the day and 60s at night. Perfect.
Yeah. Where are you located?
We're located in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I've been now in business. This year is 40 years in business. I started when I was 5 years old. I was a child prodigy because I can't be that old. But 40 years in business and been helping people. And, people really began to realize during COVID in particular, how it's important to have a travel professional in your corner and have an advocate, especially dealing with the airlines. Hard to get a hold of these people.
I don't even want to go into the all of the experiences, not great ones mostly, in dealing with airlines. It's completely automated, and if you want to talk to somebody on the phone, guess what? You're going to pay for that. So why not just pay a travel professional who is in your corner, and not to minimize them, but some rep on the phone that you're just a voice if you even get through to them, and take care of it that way. It just makes more sense.
Yeah, and well, there's another piece of that puzzle that's going on right now, and that is, for example, Delta Airlines laid off 67 or bought out 67% of their people during COVID. And all those people were their expensive people. Okay. I tell people, for example, if you're flying Detroit, Atlanta, or whatever, if you see someone wearing purple, talk to them. If you see someone wearing silver running the opposite direction, they literally don't know what they're doing. I personally experienced a 2-hour phone call yesterday with someone at the Diamond desk, which are, their top travelers' desk, had no idea what they were doing. Not a clue.
Wow.
Not a clue.
And this is Delta, you said?
Delta.
Yeah. Amazing. Wow. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
No. Matter of fact, a lot of the airlines are changing programs and not to the benefit of the travelers in any way, shape, or form. Flying buses with wings.
So let's save money on that bus.
Yes.
How can we? Well, first off, what's the best way to start saving money on your tickets?
All right. The number one with a bullet always is going to be flexibility. You're flexible. You can move your dates around. You can go to different destinations. If you're flexible in every portion of what you're doing in travel, that will save you your greatest amount of money, in particular on airline tickets. It will always save you money. That's the number one thing. It's really important because we know it's like fly Christmas, fly Thanksgiving, fly midwinter break, fly spring break. If you have to go then, you're going to be paying 2 times, sometimes 3 times for land, sometimes 4 times more to travel during the same period of time that you could be. If you traveled a week later, you could spend a third or a quarter of what you were spending.
Oh, I know. I traveled on Memorial Day weekend and went with my girlfriend, and that was our first getaway. I didn't tell her what I spent because I didn't want I want her to feel guilty. It was not just the flight, but the hotel and everything else involved. And it just had to work out that way schedule wise. So I just said, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. But yeah, to your point, unbelievable the markup when you can't be flexible.
Right. So that brings me to the second. Let's say you can't be flexible. So what is your second most important thing? Book as far in advance as possible. It used to be last minute, and it does sometimes they have deals and specials that will sneak in there, but it's all automated. They have little computers that are doing, the inventory control, and it's like the first 8 seats are this much, the next 8 seats are this much, the next 8 seats are this much. So if you sit there and I have a barking dog in the background.
I don't hear it.
Yeah. So if you can plan ahead, which the airline fares usually come out anywhere from 300 and 330 days ahead of time. So if you know you're going, then you just wait by. I mean, I know people that wait by the phone and at 12 o'clock midnight, they'll make the phone call to get those flights on the dates that they want to go because they know that there's the best chance of getting the best deal.
Wow. Give me that again. How far in advance? You said 300 and what?
Usually 300 days. Some airlines might be 330. Most are 300 days out that the fares will come out.
Interesting.
And especially if you have a group. If you have a group, got to nail it early. Definitely got to get that done early.
So are you saying, David, if you wanted to book a flight in a year from now, that it might not even be available to book because they don't do it that far in advance or not?
Correct. Oh, correct.
I never did.
You can book cruises sometimes 2-3 years out. You can book hotels. You can book everything else, but not air. Not air.
Is that because they don't know what the fares are ultimately going to be based on fuel charges?
Yes and no. Yes, there's definitely variables that will come into play, but as we know, that can change on a whim too. Like when the war in Ukraine started, and there was then gas prices going up, oil prices going up, which increased the cost of fuel. You saw fares go up, so they'll go on the fly as well. But guess what? The ones that booked it ahead of time didn't have that problem. They already had those seats. So the new pricing that was coming out to protect themselves on the increase in gas costs didn't affect those that booked far enough ahead of time.
Got it. Let's look at how about airline miles. So I used to have a credit card that had miles on it. I would use them. I didn't do it a lot. It seemed like it was a good idea. There was a lot of restrictions. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a game. The credit card game, that can be, we can have a whole nother discussion for a whole another few hours on the credit card game. But yes, it is one of the ways to save money on airline tickets. The different credit cards, whether through Chase, Visa, or American Express, or Flex Perks, US Bank, they all have their benefits. And you just have to look at the programs to see how it will benefit you the most, but it will save you money on airline tickets. And each one, it depends on how you use it and how you like to do things. And sometimes you can also use points or miles and dollars, so they can bring down the price when you're mixing those together. And that can be directly through the different airlines when you earn your miles through them as well.
Gotcha. Because I'm sitting on some rewards. It's actually reward cash from two business credit cards. Honestly, I'm just waiting for it. Just keeps going up slowly. And I haven't done anything with it because I know if I throw it into something, it's going to be gone. So I'm like, that's a little nest egg sitting there. But you're thinking if I want to redeem it and one of the choices is airline miles, you usually get a good deal in doing that.
And that's another game too. The airlines miles game. There's sometimes if you keep them, like you'll keep your points in American Express, and then you use your points depending on how the program, for example, American Express Platinum card. If you buy a ticket through them, like let's say a business class ticket in your preferred airline, and let's say the points are 250,000 points. Okay. they will give you 35% of those back. So if it's 250,000 points with the airline directly and 250,000 points with the credit card company, you'll actually get your points back and it will save you money.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the game too. It's you got to play the game, and it's an interesting game. And so you got to research it. And then there's actual points that you'll earn on that airline and status on that airline by using the card. Good example again, Delta American Express card. Delta last year made on their credit card programs $5 billion. That's correct, with a B. $5 billion. So a lot of hubbub, a lot of stuff's coming out right now because they're changing their status program, how you earn status. It used to be miles and dollars spent. Guess what it switched to? They don't care about the miles. Don't worry about your miles anymore. Spend money. It's all about the money now because they realize this is where we make money, on spending money. We don't make money by giving it to you because you have miles. We make money because you spend money.
Yeah.
That's what Delta just did to their airline program. Just spend the money. We'll give you status based on money and give you things, not by the miles. It's really interesting. And the miles can accumulate by spending. You can actually get free tickets just by spending money buying groceries.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
that's part of the game as well. You know, I've seen people buy their houses with a credit card to get points and cars. I've seen it all the time.
It's for me, it seems, and for anybody, a lot of work. You need to set aside quality time to decipher through all of this stuff, make your decisions. It's work, but you know what? You're saving money. You're getting paid for your work.
Not only that, just signing up. They'll end up giving you what potentially is 1 or 2 free tickets on the points they'll give you to sign up. Could be anywhere from 40,000 points to I've seen it 100,000 points to sign up. And that could give you 2 tickets right there, free tickets. Besides companion tickets. So, there's all kinds of fun things. Your bag discount. So it all applies to that air discounts and savings. So miles are a big thing. Miles and points, big thing in the savings of airline tickets.
How about other ways to save?
Okay. Big one too. Travel off season. So for example, I was mentioning, I like to travel to Europe in the fall, which is kind of shoulder season, but Christmas in Paris or London, kind of fun, or even Vienna. That would be really cool. So go during the off season. The weather is very temperate in some of those areas, so it's not going to be like snowy. And then if you want the snow, go up to Switzerland. And Switzerland, you get the skiing, but if you go in the off season for just to see the cities and things, there's a lot of savings and create a memorable experience and save a lot of money on your air. So
I think I shared with you a couple of shows back. I was going to go to Japan. I call it pause the trip. It's happening.
Yeah.
But I just canceled. It just didn't seem right. I got taken because I thought I was dealing directly with the airline. It wasn't the airline. What a difference in price. I was looking at February versus say May or June.
Yeah.
Like double, if not more. Airline
Cherry blossom. You're hitting cherry blossom, man.
Then there's that. Forget it is right.
Yeah. That's like the hottest thing you can go to for Japan, and the price will be doubled 3 times more.
David knows his stuff. Yes, you're right. And you know what? I was just on a whim. I was like, well, I'll take a look at what seat. No, that's crazy expensive. So off season, how about some of the other things that we can do to save money on airline tickets?
For example, you do hear like Frontier had that deal where you spent, I forgot what it was. It was like $500 and $1,000, and you bought a ticket that you can buy. You could fly for a discounted price all year long. Now,
Okay.
Great deal. Gonna be a little challenging. It's kind of like, is that inventory going to be available in whatever fare basis that needs to be booked in? But they have deals. So you got to keep your eyes open for deals. And when you do, another thing that's really important, when you see a great rate, okay, people always go, I saw it I go, buy it. They go, wait, what do you mean? I said, if you see something that's too good to be true, you buy it. Okay. So if you've been searching for fares and you kind of have an idea of what it's going to cost, then you need to pull the trigger. You can't be gun shy. And there's one other thing that's really important, and that is online, when you are searching for fares, you always hear clear your cookies, right? The average individual goes to 10 different sites before they book an airline ticket. And what I call it is a bait and switch. What happens is you start searching, and while you're searching, they watch you. The internet watches you. We all know this. As soon as you look at anything online, you're going to get 14 pop-ups on it. Doesn't matter what it is. If you just talk about it, just with your phone sitting by you, okay, it's going to start popping up. So if they see you looking for flights, eventually you're going to get to that site and it's going to go, oh, you want to go to Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Okay. And I know you've been looking at the last 10 sites. And so I'm going to tell you that flight, we have it for $319. Now you click about 34 times, putting all your information in, right? And then you push that final button, buy. Boop, not available at $319. It's $425. You've been doing this for 2 hours. You panic and you buy. They know it. They know it. So if you're going to search for flights, okay, and you see a deal, just buy it. Because if you keep searching thinking there's going to be something better, no. It's not going to get better. I promise you that. I promise you it will not get better. So if you see a deal and they announce a deal, jump on it quickly. And when you're looking for something and you see it at a good rate, buy it. Don't hesitate, because they'll get you. I promise you. I've seen it all the time.
One thought about that, not to geek out too deep here, but if you use Chrome, you can right click and open in a incognito window, which no cookies are used, nothing. It's almost like a complete clean slate. Because some of us don't like to clear the cache and cookies. Sometimes you have saved passwords or your history and things like that. So an incognito window, just right click to open it up. And it's a fresh start right there.
My computer right now, I got tons of stuff open. I'm that person.
Same.
So I click on the new Chrome window, like you say. So now I got like 3 of them, like just with a bunch of things open in them. And so I just got to keep opening the next one. Yeah, that is one of our biggest problems with people booking airline tickets online. So when you go to Travel Professional, by the way, and I'm booking your air, okay, I am in the airline sites, right in their sites through our computer res system. So they don't see me searching, okay, because I'm in their system. So I see last seat availability. So I know whatever I quote you is going to be the best rate available at that time. So that's where, to add in one more place to save money or make sure you're getting the best deal is through a travel professional that actually can book their airline tickets. Some can't because they don't have a computer res system. I do, which is mine, for example, is Sabre, and Sabre powers 60% to 70% of all the online booking engines. So I'm in the best one to find the best deals.
When I booked that trip on Memorial Day weekend, I geek over here, I might have fallen prey to what you just said, because it was a last minute thing and busy schedule, stress, things going on. I'm like, I think I might have done that. I think because I vaguely recall that's not the price I was looking at. And it didn't even occur to me that I was being tracked and they knew it. And it's like, let's get them again. One final time.
I get a phone call every single week, at least, if not every day, saying, I saw it for.
Wow.
I don't care what you see until you buy and you actually get it for, you don't have it.
Yeah.
I even have run into things where I saw it for, I didn't get it. It's like, what the heck? So yeah, it is so frustrating. And that's why if you can get it at a rate and you see a good one, don't go for better. Don't roll the dice when it comes to airline tickets. Which brings me to the one of the last things that are really important. And it kind of is now that the catch-all in regards to travel nowadays is you need travel insurance. That will make a big difference, in particular delays, okay, cancellations, anything that might happen. At least gives you that little security blanket to make sure that you are protected when you are buying that ticket. So you get the best deal, protect the best deal, because it's a really minor investment to protect that best deal.
I am actually kind of surprised how affordable the travel insurance is versus what you're getting. Gosh forbid something happens. It seems very reasonable. The question is, who do you use for that? Of course, travel specialists throw it all your way, take care of it. You've vetted them out. On the flip side of that, we don't know. And that vacation in Japan, I was looking at travel insurance. I was going through like maybe this one will, maybe what about that one? I don't know what I'm looking for. I admit it.
It's a lot of travel insurance companies, and then they have a lot of different policies.
Yeah.
So it's really important to have. I mean, I have my experts in the office that know all the policies and the companies we work with, and we have relationships. Oh, we know it. Anyone make a claim with an insurance company? We have relationships, and that can make all the difference in the world when you have a relationship with, with an insurance company when you have a problem when traveling. So, I mean, having, once again, that advocate plays into having a travel professional in your corner that has relationships can make the difference in having a great vacation or having a bad vacation or changing that bad vacation into a great vacation. Simple as that.
Isn't it amazing in this day and age that we have to deal with stuff like this? You think it would have gotten easier. Go online, book it, best price, blah, 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 blah. It's gotten even worse where people are getting ripped off even more. It's even more reason to use a travel specialist. So you have, at least at the very minimum, peace of mind that you're doing the right thing.
The internet created this interesting environment where people think, because this used to go with media too. People just go, oh, you're on the news. You must, it must be true. It must be real. And we can go into that whole world, but that also has gone into now the internet, the World Wide Web. You would think that people are going to put stuff out there that is the truth or real. And if you can't walk in their office, you can't talk to them on the phone, which is even marginal too. But if you can't really get an idea of who these people are and what they're all about, you're gambling.
Yeah, seriously. And COVID was the game changer and all of that in terms of customer service. I firmly believe it totally changed right after that.
Yeah. People realize, yeah, not always so fun doing it themselves. I mean, I love, we'll all sit there and search and play on the internet, and there's so much fun information, look up who was that actress, who was that singer, what was that song. I mean, it's fun, but when it comes to travel, yeah, look at it and see what looks beautiful, but then let's check the box and make sure it's all real and make sure it's the best deal that really is out there.
What do you say to people? And final question, just about out of time, but what do you say to people about the compensation for a travel specialist in terms of what it costs, how it gets figured out? And to me, it's 100% worth it. But, to others, how do you rationalize that?
Well, let's see. I have 600 years of travel destination knowledge in my office. And then one of the other big rationalizations is, how much is your time worth? What is the one commodity that you cannot buy? I sell time.
Yeah.
Time with expertise is basically invaluable. If you had an advocate with you everywhere you go with traveling, totally invaluable. And then through the consortium I'm part of, 300 travel companies across the country, and those relationships, I also have buying power. So I am going to get better deals for you and things along those lines. So that's where I validate you're working with a professional. You're going to get all our expertise, all our time savings, all the deals. And that's invaluable. And then have an advocate at the end that if there's a problem, I've had people standing at the airport waiting in line, their flight gets canceled. They call me up. I switch their flight, get them on the next one. They get to the counter and they go, yeah, I want this flight. I'm just sitting. They go, no, that's not. It's all sold out. No, I already called my travel professional. He rebooked me. I just need my boarding pass, or I already have my boarding pass. I need to know what gate or whatever, and I'm off. I'm done. I don't have to sit there and get in line and not be helped. So there's so much value there that people are starting to realize that it's worth it.
Yeah. And the stress, you talk about time, you're taking days off your life, literally on the back end of all the stress involved, that, the big vacation, and it shouldn't be stressful. And I feel we owe it to ourselves. You want to feel special sometime. Celebrities have concierge that takes care of everything for you. Why not have a travel professional in your corner for a minimal amount that's going to add to your total vacation? How many do you take in your lifetime?
You'll spend more on a tank of gas or going and getting coffee all week than
exactly.
And the average person, by the way, spends 27 hours researching a 4-day vacation. 27 hours.
I believe it.
That's crazy.
It really isn't. And what are you searching for? Trying to get the best rate, best hotel. Yeah, you're researching a little. Let's say a quarter of that is kind of fun. Looking at pictures, which, but you can do that research and say, hi, David, I like the ABC hotel. What do you think of that one? I like this. I'd like to go on this day. I'd like this excursion. What can you do? And you take care of everything. And by the way, you're stuck at the airport. They canceled your flight. Going through this, I don't know how to redo all of that fast enough. You already know how to do it.
And literally, we have 24-hour service, 365 days a year if there's emergencies.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
There's the value right there.
There's a value right there. How do we find you? Your website? What is that?
You can go to www.cadillactravel.com. Or send an email to info@Cadillac Travel or David at Cadillac Travel. Send an email right to me. You can go to 1-800-369-TRIP 8747 or 248-358-5330. Or you can check our Instagram page, our Facebook page. Anywhere you want to find us and communicate with us, you can find us and we'll be there for you.
And I can say with most certainty that when you go to CadillacTravel.com, you're not tracking their movement. You're not dropping cookies on their browser.
I don't have time to try to trace them. If they want to get in contact, send us a message right through there too, through the website, and we'll talk to you that way too. But there's not enough hours in a day for me to be. I don't have the little machine doing that, checking out where you are and what you're looking at now.
Yeah, so. All you want to do is get somebody a great deal and make them happy. David, thank you for all the details today, and I appreciate it. Look forward next time we talk.
Great, thanks, Steve. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.